Hello everybody, welcome back to my Nails by Cash channel. I am super excited because I want to show you how to do a vertical ombre. That is this one right here. So I am going to show you a nice, quick and easy way when you're in a rush with a client and you don't want to pull out your ombre brush. I will show you how to do it with your color brush. So this one I believe is the Solutions 2 brush through LCN. If you don't have one of those, the Magic Brush number 7 works great as well. They're both capable of doing an ombre design. It just blends really nice and smooth. So the colors I'm going to do, which just my little sample ones here, is these two. So I'm going to put it on my palette first, side by side, just like I want it on the nail. So wipe off my extra before I dip it into the next color. There we go. So with the two colors together, you want them touching. You're going to take your brush and just flatten that out as you grab it. Now you can also pick it up half and half through your jars. So just dip one half of the brush, turn it over, dip in the other color. But sometimes you can get that color mixed into the wrong jar that's already on your brush. So it just makes it easier, cleaner, keeps your brush nice and clean, keeps your jars from getting contaminated. So going straight down the middle, and I'm working my way over to one side, and working my way back to the middle, onto the other side. And I stop there. And I am going to wipe my brush off, cure that nail, and repeat the process for the second step. So let's give that a cure in the light. While that's curing, I will clean up my little station here, and I will meet you back. Okay, so now that that is cured, I'm going to do a second layer. So I cleaned up my little blob that I had there because I want it to be perfect every time I put it on my brush. Now, something that you can do to save time is do two piles at once. So do a color there, do another one up here. And that way you have both already ready to go for your second layer. And if you were doing both hands, then make 4 piles for your first coat, your second coat, for both hands. Okay, now I'm going in again with my brush, brush it out, and apply the second one. Same technique, down the middle, over to the side, to the other side, work your way back to the middle, and now where this is the second coat, this is the top. I like to work it a little back and forth just to get that middle nice and blended. There, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, something I like to do, because when you're doing a client, they have their cuticles in the way, I like to go in with my striper brush and pick up the color that's on one side of the nail and just get as close as you can to the cuticle. This will give you a really nice straight line, and it also allows you to not get your ombre brush too close to that cuticle line. Wipe off the extra, clean it off, pick up the other color, and same thing. And this, by going over it along the cuticle side, so your sidewalls and the cuticles, that will just give you a nice crisp look in that solid color. Look at how pretty that is. Okay, so I'm going to cure that and meet you back. Okay, so now that that is cured, you can leave it like that, put your shiny top coat on, cure it, call it a day. Or I'm going to show you the encapsulation technique using the One Step Light Elegance Clear Gel. and do nail art over top of it. Just a nice little simple flower. That will give it dimension by doing encapsulation. I can't say that word. That'll just give it some dimension to the nail art that you apply over top of it. So I'm doing a slip layer. That's just your thin layer of gel over the whole nail. And then I'm going to go in with my bead, or the blob, whatever you want to call it. My little blob. And apply it. And doing my rotating left to right. So if I'm going to the left, I'm rotating anti-clockwise. Rotating to the right is clockwise. And just maneuvering the gel, just to get it nice and covered. Now where this is an encapsulation, and I already had the shape of the nail underneath, because it is a little sample nail, I don't really need to shape it. I just want to keep the existing shape that it already has. So I'm just making sure it's blended really nicely on all my sidewalls. I'm currently looking at it from all angles. I'm turning it left to right to make sure I like the shape. Because I'm only going to be giving this a light buff. So now that it's shaped, I'm going to put it in the light. Give it a cure. And I will meet you back. Okay, so now that that is cured in the light, I'm going to wipe off the dispersion film that it leaves using my alcohol or my cleaner. And I'm just going to use a file that's 180 grit and just lightly buff that into shape. Now I'm barely putting any pressure with my nail file. I'm just looking to buff it and make it nice and smooth, because I do not want to get into that color that's underneath the nail. I'm just smoothing out the areas. As you can see, it leaves little shinies. That's like a little crevice in the gel buildup, so you just want to make sure that you're blending the top of the nail nice and smooth and that you don't have any air pockets. There we go. I'm going to use a little block buffer and smooth it out a little more just to get rid of the nail file streaks. And this is about a 240 grit, I believe it is, for this block buffer. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm going to wipe it again with my alcohol just to get a nice clean coat. And I'm going to do a white flower. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of white here. Now I like to put my colors down on a rubber mat, or if you have one of those stones. Just by putting the color on the mat, it allows you to roll your brush and load it up in the color. So by rotating my brush, it's loaded on all sides, versus putting it in the pot and have all this gel that seeps into the tip but doesn't actually get in between the bristles. So that's the nice thing with loading up your brush on a palette, is you can brush it in and stroke it in. So now I'm going to do a couple dots. Now if you have a dotting tool, you can use your dotting tool. But these are going to be the placements of my flower petals. Alright, I like that. And I'm going to wipe off my extra. Now I'm just looking to drag it. So I'm starting on the side here and I'm just dragging it in. And for the tip, starting at the middle, drag it out and bring those sides into the tip. Okay, this one, I'm going to round it a little closer. Next one, bring it down. And I believe the nail art brush I'm using is a 7mm length. There we go, and I'm going to add a couple little swirls in. So you leave a little dot on the end of your brush, drop it with a little bit of pressure, and as you lift up, release that pressure. I'm going to do the same over here. Drop it in, make a blob, pushing down, and as I release, I lift up on my brush. And now with less on my brush, dab, and drag it down. Dab. Now all I'm doing is filling in my empty space. So just where I have some empty space on the nail, I'm just filling that in. Now you can cure in between these steps if your gel is starting to self-level. Okay, and I'm going to cure that in the light. And I'll meet you back. Okay, now that that's cured, I'm gonna go in with this super shiny silver glitter and just do the little dots from my middle of my flower. I love glitter. Glitter is so happy. And I just want to add a little bit of eye catching to this design. That way when the sun hits it, it'll be beautiful. There we go, and I'm happy with that. So I'm going to cure that in the light, and then we will be sealing with our super shiny top coat. So let me cure this and I'll meet you back. Okay, now with our super shiny, I'm going to apply it. That's the top coat. Now for the reveal when the color comes to life. That is so beautiful. And by doing the encapsulation, so by sealing off the nail, building it out, and then putting the nail art separate from the color, it just makes it pop. It's like your design is popping out of your nail. And I'll cure that and meet you back, and we'll look at the nail a lot closer. There we have it. Look how beautiful that is. It just stands right out. Nice new dimension to the nail. Didn't take very long, and it turned out really pretty. And you can do that ombre with any double colors that you like together using that technique. And this dotting flower is really simple. The more you practice with the pressure of your brush, the prettier it becomes. So pretty. And that is it, my friends. Leave a comment if you liked this video. Don't forget to like it. Let me know what you think. If you try this design, please post a picture in the comments. I'd love to see what color you came up with. And again, thank you for watching. See you soon.